Well, folks, just got done servicing both differentials on the 2008 Jeep JK. I didn't film that. There's really nothing to it. You know, you just drain out what's in there, pull the cover, scrape off the old RTV, clean it all up, put the new cover back on, torque it down, fill her back up. The old fluid that came out really wasn't bad. The front one was definitely dirtier than the rear. The rear was probably recently done. The front was dirtier. But no water in it, no moisture, nothing like that. But yeah, I go ahead and run full synthetic and everything. This transmission calls for, uh, ATF4, which is a full synthetic. The differentials, I just go ahead and use full synthetic in there. I put a 75 140 in the rear. Uh, you can use the 7590 in the rear, but it says if you're going to tow or for hot weather, you can use the 75 140. So I always use this in their rear differentials of my Fords. They all call for it. My Explorer called for it. Expedition calls for it. My F-150, it all calls for a full synthetic 75 140. Why not use it in here? Like I say, it is an option. You can optionally use this in here if you're going to tow or for hot weather. We get up over 100 in the summer, so why not have it in there? The rear one's the differential that does all the work anyway. The front one, you don't use that too often. But yeah, 7590 in the front. This does contain limited slip additive, which is nice if you have a limited slip like my Fords do. The Jeep here doesn't. They have both differentials have electric lockers in it from the factory. So when they're not locked, you just have an open differential and you don't have to add any additive to it whatsoever. And when you do lock it, it's a mechanically locking differential. There's no clutches in there like a limited slip or anything like that. So yeah, just there's really not much to show on this one. The rear took not quite. It didn't take what the book said. The book says it, I think, 2.3 quarts or something. It only took like 1 3/4 quarts in the rear, and the front called for I think like 1 point something. It only took one. It was coming out the fill hole, and I read that online too. That it'll be dripping out long before you get to the specifications listed, and it was true. So I've never even opened that one. That one's brand new. Anyways, folks, yeah, I'm really a fan of the synthetic fluids. I've used them for years. In my Expedition and my F-150 both. Both of those, they're 2000, 2001. So at the time when they were produced, it called for Mercon automatic transmission fluid, but it's since been superseded by Mercon 5, which is a fully synthetic automatic transmission fluid, just like this Jeep here takes ATF4, which is a fully synthetic. So I went ahead years ago on the Expedition and the F-152. It's got full Mercon 5 in there. And like I say, the differential in the Expedition's only two-wheel drive, but it gets the 75 140 full synthetic, and it gets, I think it calls for 6 ounces of friction modifier. I'm not sure how much, but I always add it because it does have a limited slip in the rear. And my F-150, that's four-wheel drive, of course, so that's got 75 140 in the rear. It's a limited slip in the rear too, so it gets the additive. And the front just gets like the 75 90 there. That's all it calls for. But still, I still go with fully synthetic. And also the engine oil. I've always used fully synthetic. I just use 530 in the Fords. It's since those have been produced, 2000 and 2001, that's been superseded to 520, and that's only to try to squeeze every bit of fuel economy out of them. I still use 530 in the Fords, never had a trouble. Like I say, I've got 220 on that Expedition, and it doesn't skip a beat. Use the same thing in the F-150. I use the same oil in my wife's little 2009 Kia. Um, I use the same oil, in the other Jeeps, just full synthetic in them. But whatever car I buy, I end up selling whatever. It just gets full synthetic. I've got tons of it here, so. And I'm not an oil snob. I don't go by. I used to use strictly Mobil 1. That's all I would ever use. But now what I do is honestly, I just find deals. I was in Walmart a few years ago, and they had their Super Tech brand, but the fully synthetic stuff, and it's good oil. It's not made by Walmart. It's made by a major manufacturer. Project Farm on YouTube has tested this stuff. He's tested the Amazon Basics synthetic, the Walmart synthetic, the Costco synthetic. That stuff's really good oil. It's really good. There's nothing wrong with it. They just buy it in bulk. They get a better deal on it. That's all. So yeah, I switched from the Mobil 1 to the Super Tech, just fully synthetic, and that stuff's been great. And then I was at Walmart one day, and I think I bought like 15 or 18 or 20 12-quart cases of it. They had it on clearance for dirt cheap. I mean, it was dirt cheap. I bought every 530 they had in stock. I had 2 carts full, and that's what I've been using for like the last 3 years. And then recently, I picked all this up. Now this isn't fully synthetic. This is a synthetic blend. This Kindle liquid titanium 530, but synthetic blend. It's fine. I mean, as you can see, I've got tons of that. I picked this up on a closeout somewhere. I got this stuff for I think I gave 20. I think I gave $20 a case for this. Yeah, yeah, $20. Yeah, $20 a case, and that's a hell of a deal. So I haven't used it yet, but I have no problem using this. I'll have this for years to come too, and then I've got more in the shed in the backyard too. But yeah, fully synthetic, guys. That's all I run, and I've had no trouble with it whatsoever, and my engines go for a long time. Anyways, that's enough talking. Y'all be good.